Alright, let's start this video. Like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, let's just get the video started. Yep, no long intro this time. You might be wondering why, and it's because it's finally happened. YBA has finally made an update that made the game better. Yeah, no. It's no secret at this point, but the two biggest JoJo games currently for the past few years, YBA and AUT, have only been diminishing in quality every update. If you're curious on AUT, I've posted a video about that already, but this video is going to be about YBA. Not just about YBA, an older version of YBA, and how it being re-uploaded is better than the current one. But you may be saying, an old version has less content. How could it be better? Well... But first, what even is YBA Legacy? YBA Legacy is a re-upload of an older version of YBA, with some missing content being recreated. It's essentially old YBA with some quality of life improvements. Yes, the game is actually better than old YBA, not just a stolen copy from nostalgia. For example, if you played old YBA, you would know playing Vampire is impossible, like a pain. You have to hold an umbrella to prevent yourself from burning in sunlight. This wouldn't be a problem if the umbrella didn't prevent you from using M1, one of the most important actions you can do in YBA PvP. However, in YBA-L, you could just M1 and hold the umbrella, no worries. Of course, since these features weren't in the base game of YBA, this means the devs of YBA-L went through the effort to reverse engineer the entire YBA code and understand it themselves in order to fix bugs and add these quality of life features. And this is old YBA code, so a lot of this code is outdated stuff that no longer works in current Roblox. I've seen tons of people call YBA-L a shameless, lazy copy that's nothing but a re-uploaded game, but these developers actually know how to code games. These devs aren't being lazy at all. In fact, they're still updating YBA-L. The original version of YBA, that YBA-L started off as, actually missed tons of content from the version of YBA that they're trying to recreate. Their solution? Remake every single stand missing. Judging by how messy and strange moves tend to act when playing the original YBA, and the lack of specific details in the game of how they even work, it is a laborious task to recreate all the jank. And yet, they're not only doing it anyways, they're doing it at a faster pace than actual YBA took to release content. The most recent update at the time of this video being made is the Heaven update, which came out only a week after the previous update, the SC update. And they continue to do this. They are posting like weekly updates. Compare that to regular YBA, which gets maybe like 2 updates a year, 3 if we're lucky. That means YBA-L is producing updates 17 times as fast as the original YBA. Do you want to know the funniest part? This recreated content is actually better than the original YBA a lot of the time. This is most apparent with their matchmaking game mode, and YBA matchmaking, still to this day, has been using the same horrible matchmaking system for God knows how long. The bugs from when the game first came out still exist in today's version of YBA, mainly broken servers. You do not want to know how many days I probably wasted my life in broken servers in their matchmaking system, because it takes forever to get a match. Now, let's look at YBA Legacy's version. It's quick, it's fast, and there's no buggy servers. The code, when being remade, was actually bug tested, so it's optimized and runs better than the original YBA. Speaking of running better, the game straight up is just more optimized than current YBA. It's sadly a pretty common trend for JoJo games to be really laggy, so I'm personally very glad they at least somewhat care about performance. These are supposed to be PvP games, lag ruins them. So what is the game actually lacking then? If it's old YBA, it's gonna have some changes that the current YBA doesn't have. Well, those changes are mainly in the You thought old AUT had crazy combos? You fool. Welcome to modern YBA PvP. Here, if you don't have a brain dead one-shot combo, you have zero hope of winning. Of course, it wasn't always like this. However, it isn't a JoJo game without insane power creep. While the YBA fanbase was rejoicing at first when reworks came out for all the specs, and recently some stands, They did not realize how overpowered these were until Vampire came out. There's more videos on YouTube if you want to learn more about current YBA PvP. I recommend Eclipse. After Vampire came out though, I'm just going to sum it up, the PvP was so power creeped that it's ruined. It's not the same anymore. Since specs can be applied to every stand, and every spec is overpowered, there is quite literally no option that's viable and not overpowered. The combat has just turned into a brainless combo mess. And you can combine these with a stand, by the way, which are also just as overpowered. You get these insanely bloated movesets and combos that were not included with the intended vision of the original YBA. So, naturally some people miss old YBA. The YBA that was actually at least somewhat balanced and cared about the PvP of their game. So you'd expect it to be more popular than YBA, right? But that's not the case. Let's look at the player counts for both games. YBA-L has around 900 players at the time of recording, and this is right after an update, so this is the highest player count I think they've ever gotten. YBA has over 3,000. Now, I haven't really seen a plausible explanation that can actually be confirmed onto why this is, but I do have a very good theory. And just hear me out. This theory also explains why AUT still has a player count of 2,000. Oh my gosh. Okay, so hear me out. I think there are two separate JoJo communities. There's first the older community, which play games like A Bizarre Day and the old YBA. This is the community that most of you guys are in, and including me, I'm also in it. These audience tends to be older and enjoy more PvP type games. And then there's the newer community. This community is filled with younger Blox Fruits players. They don't play JoJo games for the PvP, but they grind and trade skins. That's all they care about. Think of this community like the younger Gen Alpha iPad kids. The current big JoJo games, AUT and YBA, are filled with these younger players. Their whole audience has shifted to being these players who don't care about the quality of their game. They just care about the amount of content in it. And the older community right now is starting to die out. When I say JoJo community is dying, this is the community I'm talking about, not the younger players. I may make a video on the future on where they have gone, but the older community just doesn't play JoJo or Roblox for that matter anymore. The reason why YBA Legacy doesn't have as many players as YBA is because they aren't attracting the same fan base. YBA Legacy is attracting the smaller, older community of players, while the current YBA is attracting this younger community. YBA has more skins, more economy stuff, trading, so these players will not switch to YBA-L. It has less content for them. This is also why updates nowadays are about adding new skins rather than new PvP content. The reworks are just to generate hype. They're not actually wanted by the new communities. The community actually cares about the skins. Now, I believe this older community can come back. It's not completely dead, but the games have shifted away and stopped supporting this community. Heck, Uzu has completely abandoned YBA, and the proof of that? He released a trailer for a new game he's working on called Eternal Battlegrounds, which is literally just an ABA copy. This explains why YBA hasn't been getting updates anymore. He's been working on this. Again, this is just a theory, so if you have a better explanation, please leave it in the comments, but I think this is pretty accurate. However, there's actually another reason too. This isn't the only one. And this reason isn't just a theory. YBA has been purposely sabotaging YBA-L by banning YouTubers who promote YBA-L. Too bad for them, I was never planning on playing their trash game ever again anyways, so I don't care if I get banned. There's a long drama that happened, and I don't want to really get into it, but just know there's some spicy fighting in between the two games. And YBA hates YBA Legacy so much that they're basically sabotaging YBA Legacy in very petty ways. However, I don't think people are realizing how absurd this is. YBA needs to stop being a baby and treat YBA Legacy as competition and trying to make a better product than YBA Legacy. When your product is inferior, the solution is to make your product better, not slander other products. However, you and me both know that YBA will do anything but make an actually good update. And that's why YBA Legacy is a godsend of a Roblox JoJo game. It deserves to be more successful. And the craziest part, this game is non-profit? That's right, YBA Legacy is casually not only the most updated JoJo game currently, but they also aren't getting any money from it. They're donating the money to their community. Honestly, I wish I could give money to the devs. They deserve it. This game is amazing. However, I cannot, so the best I can do is encourage you guys to try it out. If you are also wishing YBA was good again, this is the game for you. But what is your guys' opinions? Is regular YBA actually better? Do you guys have any other ideas why YBA Legacy has less players? Tell me in the comments below. And again, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.